Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. I have a great video for you today. I am going to be sharing with you my top favorite budget fixed blades. All of these are under $100, except for the very last one, which is $120. But I think should be thrown on this list because it's such an exquisitely good deal. But basically, under $100. And in fact, we're ranging from $13. The cheapest one I have on here that I can recommend with full honesty is $13. So we're going to go through that list, and I think you're going to be surprised by some of the things that are on here as well. I'm going to give you the price, and where I can, there will be Amazon links down below. Some of them you just need to go to the manufacturer, to DLT, or somewhere else to get them, but they're easy to search up. But the Amazon links down below are affiliated, so if you do happen to buy one through that link, I'll get like 20 cents. All right. Let's start off by smashing that like button, leaving a comment. It really helps the channel. What budget knife did I leave off? And as always, thank you to my Patreon crew. So coming in at $13 is the Haltafors heavy duty. Little plastic case, whatever. High carbon steel, very sharp spine, Scandi grind, very comfortable hand, very comfortable in the hand. It does have a full tang that's completely encased in here. I have whacked the crap out of this, as you can tell from the amount of scars on this. This sits next to my fireplace, and I use this all the time to split wood. It's got a ton of sap on it and stuff. And yeah, it's still pretty darn sharp. Like down here, it's very sharp. One thing I would say is that the way that it's ground and it comes to the tip, the tip gets very robust, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's harder to keep sharp, I found. Whereas down here, it's still very sharp and still splits wood and will feather stick. Not the best feather sticker in the world, but for 13 bucks, everyone should have one of these kicking around in their truck next to their fireplace. This is a beater and a basher, and you can use it for a crowbar, and if it does happen to break, you're not going to be sad about it. So for coming in for $13, I think that's a pretty good deal. All right, next is the Maracniv, and we're stepping up in the world. We're adding $3 on, and for $3 more, you get a Maracniv. And I love this guy too. This happens to be the Robust, and this is also a high carbon steel. This is made, or carbon steel. This is made in Sweden. Fits better in the hand, in my estimation, than the Haltafor. And also a beater. Also something that's very easy to keep. To me, it feels just a little bit better in the hand. This is just a little bit too. I mean, no, it's fine, but if I was wearing gloves, I would want to use the Robust a little bit more. It's just a little bit smaller, and it feels better in the hand too with the materials that are on here. Again, I've used the dog poop out of that knife, and it is holding up. So for $16. Now, as far as the sheaths they come in, they're both basically the same, and they're both basically just plastic. I mean, I never wear these. I use the sheaths, but I'm stashing them somewhere and using them where I can. All right, coming in at a whopping, what is this? $24 is the Finlight Puka from BPS Knives. This little thing, it has ash handles made in Ukraine. They donate money and or knives to the Ukrainian army, which I like. My girls really like using this knife for carving. It fits their hands really well. It is a little bit smaller, but I still get a full 4-finger grip, and for $24, that's pretty great. This is a carbon tool steel 1066. Which is absolutely fine. Another Scandi grind, small guy, smaller than the Haltafors and the other guys, but real wood ash. And this is also, and this goes for most of BPS knives, which I can just recommend all of their knives. You can take off this scale here, and then if you're experimenting and learning how to make knives yourselves and you want to experiment with making your own scales, this is a great way to do it. It's easy to remove. They're only $23, and you get a chance to customize and make your own scales for something. So another thought there. Comes with a leather sheath too, which is actually a really nice leather sheath. So highly, highly recommendable. $23. Yeah, that's a no-brainer right there. Okay, now we're moving. Now we're going to spend some real money here. We're going to go up to $46. Is that my next one? Yeah, $46. And it's actually another BPS knife. And Dutch Bushcraft Boys edition of their knife, their budget version of their knife. And it's a collaboration with BPS and Dutch Bushcraft, or DBK, which you should know. If you don't know DBK, go check out their videos. They're hilarious. This is tool steel as well, 1066 Scandi grind. This is their design, quote unquote, but it's basically your standard type European Scandi knife. And, you know, look at the first four knives on here. Cheap, utilitarian, works, proven for the last several thousand years. It is a design that works. What's also cool is this leather sheath is just kicking, man. This leather sheath looks like, it almost looks like a high-end sheath from LT Wright. Like that's what it sings to me. And I don't know how, for $46, this leather is good and it smells good too. And it comes with this fire steel. This fire steel came with it and it works. It's a good fire steel. I mean, this screams little boy present, right? $46. Here, kid, go whack a tree with this. You don't have to use my $300 knife, but this will start you a fire and this will work great for you. Absolute no-brainer. $46. Are you kidding me? Yeah, gotta get that. I don't think this one's ash, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is walnut. So again, very, very cool. All four of these knives are linked down below for Amazon links. Next, all right, that was $46. Okay, we're becoming big spenders here. Big spenders. We're gonna move up to $57. Ooh, this might be the smallest knife on the table. This is the made by Cold Steel. It's the Mini Hunter in 3V. Small little knife, 3V for under $100. In fact, you know, $57. And, you know, you're like, well, that's not heat treated. Well, this is made in Taiwan, bitch. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. Taiwan has a great manufacturing OEMs. Cold Steel has a good reputation. I haven't tested this knife yet. I will be testing this knife more, but I think that the heat treat on this will be perfectly fine. The Mini Hunter, really good for skinning small things. I still need to test it out. This rubbery grip is great. It's got this this jimping here, horizontal jimping, and the diamond texture here, and it just feels really good in the hand. This Kydex sheath is awesome. It's a little overkill, honestly. It's like they've taken a sheath for a much bigger knife and just miniaturized it. But it works, and it is very cool. And again, it's one of those things that I would very easily hand off to one of my kids and be like, here, go out in the woods and have fun with this. Yeah, very, very cool little knife. I don't think that this one is on Amazon. No, it is. It isn't on Amazon. So I'll link that one as well. All right, moving on. So that was, what was it? 57. All right, next we're going to go to the Jararapuco. Oh my God, it's spelled so crazy. $60 for this guy right here. This is the 140 made in Europe. I believe this is another Swedish knife. Got a lot of Swedish knives on here for the budget territory, which is great, honestly. This is the 140. They also have the 110. The 110, I believe, is $55. The 140 here is $60. That's just the length, 140 centimeters or millimeters. Centimeters would be crazy. That'd be a sword. But full tang goes through. You can bash things with this if you want. This is 80 CRV2, which is a great steel. Convex Scandi grind. I've also bashed this up. They've carbonized the sides there, give a little protection to the place where you might get a little rust. And the sheath was sold separately. So this was $60. This was $30. I went ahead and spent the extra $30 for it. They've got this tab here to really lock it in if you need to. I almost never use that myself. But screaming good deal if you want, you know, a more robust knife to use in the woods, and you're willing to spend just a little bit more, $60. This is definitely something to check out. They have a lot of good knives on their website. Check them out. And yeah, they're awesome. This Terra Nova, and that's the Jarapuco. Woo-wee! That's some goodness. All right, now we're getting really expensive, guys. Getting really expensive. We're going to move up to, I believe this is $70. So now $70. This is the Robust by Maracniv. This is the stainless version, but they have a carbon version as well. This is got a full tang with a basher here at the back so that you can hammer things. Nice, comfortable hand like you'd expect from Maracniv. Just a better steel, basically. And again, just a great wood chopper. Honestly, this is probably the least recommendable knife on my list, because if you were going to get this for $70, I would just recommend going and getting this guy instead. But having said that, this is a little bit easier to get shipped to you because this has to ship from Europe. So still recommendable, and I still use this. Another good beater knife, but just a little bit more expensive, coming in at $70. All right, the next two knives are the most expensive on my list. that's what it is. So 1075. So LT Wright, one of my favorite knife companies out there. They make a small little knife called the Bush Baby, and very nice leather sheath. And you can see this nice leather sheath with these buttons here, and how I was talking about how it kind of reminded me of the DBK knife, and you can see why I said that. Now, the DBK knife obviously doesn't have this and this. This kind of helps prevent the point from sticking through the bottom. These rivets. So yes, I got this for $95. This is the 1075 version of it. Now you can get a 3V version. I just looked at DLT Trading Company. They have a 3V version for, what was it, $144. But the 1075 version that has been forced patinaed, right, costs $95. Now this isn't available all the time. It drops here and there, but it was $95. I got it for $95, and I'm including it on this list. Double red canvas micarta. I actually got this off the Redwall program that they have, or the Pothouse program that they have. So again, Pothouse proving its worth over and over. $95 for something like this with this leather sheath, absolute no-brainer. This little guy is very easy to sharpen, and I actually carried it for a long time while I was redoing a factory. I was like rebuilding a factory into a fabric shop, and this was just like my little in pocket, or my little belt sheath beater that I could tear things out with when I was tearing stuff apart, and I absolutely loved it, and held up super, super well. And then coming in most expensive, $120, another American-made knife. So this was made in America. A lot of these are China, Taiwan, and Sweden, and then American, and then finally the last American one is $120, but this is Nitro V, and I had to include it. I know it's over $100, but this is from Waxed Wing. Trevor, guy makes these in Pennsylvania. Very nice little 4-finger grip, full flat grind. Just absolutely killer. I love this knife a lot, and I like to support small American knife makers, and this guy is doing such high quality work for $120 with Nitro V and a Kydex sandwich sheath. I added the Ulti-Clip. Just a no-brainer. Again, like, I think the value here, even though it's not necessarily budget because it's not less than 100, I had to shout this out. All right, so we're going to go through, and we're going to try to remember all the prices on everything. So the $13 Holtavor heavy duty, great knife, Scandi grind, carbon steel. Carbon steel, again, $16, the Moroccan Robust. This was 20-something, $24 is the BPS knife made in Ukraine, and this is another little Scandi grind. Very cool little knife, especially for passing off to kids or having a small little carving knife in your pocket. The DBS knife coming with the sheath, with the fire steel and the leather and the dangler. Woo-wee, that is a good deal right here. And that is $46. Screaming good deal. 3V Mini Hunter, rubber handle. Cool little knife. I think any little boy would love this knife. This little boy right here also loves this knife. And I'm just in the testing phase of this, so I haven't even done my first, I haven't released my first impressions video of this, but I've already been impressed with it, and I can't wait to use it some more. The Terra Nova Jarapuco, $60, absolutely screaming good knife and value, 80 CRV2 Scandi grind. I got the 140 version, but they have a 110, and they have an even shorter version than that too, which is even cheaper. And then you pay an extra $30 for the sheath. Don't necessarily need to get the sheath though. I know I have a ton of extra sheaths lying around, so I probably could have just reused something else. The Robust, this is the stainless version, and this is Moroccan, again, made in Sweden, and another Scandi, very cool. And then full flat grind coming in from LT Wright, $95, the Bush Baby, with a forced patina on it. Very easy to sharpen and maintain, and I haven't had a rust problem because of this forced patinaing, and I think it just looks super sweet. Great deal. One of my favorite knives in my collection. And then another favorite knife in my collection, full flat grind, very thin behind the edge, Nitro V, coming in from Waxed Wing and Trevor in Pennsylvania. $120, most expensive one here, with a very nice Kydex sheath. Yeah, so those are my recommendations, people. What did I leave off? Please let me know. Is there another knife that you think that I should have had on here? You know, I'm just a collector. None of these were given to me. I bought them all myself. So you got to keep in mind that my budget is limited, and I do enjoy a good budget knife. And I hope that you found something here that you will enjoy. You can follow the links down below for anything that was on Amazon, and otherwise just search up the companies and the names and you'll find them very easily on DLT or Knife Center or things like that. Whew, that was a long video. Did you guys stick around? Did anyone stick around? All right. So, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It really helps the channel. And as always, thank you to my Patreon supporters who every month get a chance to win a free knife of the month by becoming a Patreon member for $3 a month. You too can. Right down there, just follow that link for Patreon. I will see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.